It's been on the motorways, it's been through windy country lanes, and now it's even crossed the sea.
It has indeed. It is the one and only breakfast butty van,
Oh,
of which I have not even, I want to say I haven't even met the butty van. It's not a person, but I feel like...
That you feel there's not enough healthy options on the butty van, do you?
No, I've decided now I don't want healthy options anymore on it.
Bacon sandwiches?
Yes, because they look so good.
Because Steph's planning to have granola for you next week and all sorts of healthy treats.
I'm touched. We are talking about the butty van because it's been out and about, finding out what is going to sway people's votes, what's really important in the upcoming general election. Steph is with it right now on a beach in Northern Ireland. Morning.
Good morning to you, morning everyone. Lou, we've got fruit for you this time, never mind. Anyway, but let me explain where I am. I am feeling the wind, Carol mentioned this morning, but it's gorgeous here. I'm in Portrush. I don't know if you can see, but far into the distance, there are people in that water. There's people surfing out there at the moment. I can just see their little heads bobbing up and down. I don't know if you can make them out in the distance. But yeah, this is a beautiful seaside resort in Northern Ireland. There's about 7,000 people who live here. And of course, it's a place where lots of people here are going to be voting along with the rest of us in the UK next week. So we've come here to talk to business people and to the locals who do various different jobs in the area about what they want to hear from the politicians in the run-up to the election. And as you say, we've been taking the breakfast butty van across the UK, over the Irish Sea yesterday, from Holyhead to Dublin and up through Ireland to Northern Ireland. And of course, one of the big debates here is about what Brexit is going to mean for them, given they are on the border with Ireland, and what that will mean for different businesses. So we have some guests here who we've gathered together in this fairly brisk morning. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. So Murray, let me start with you first of all. You're an architect in the area, you've got an architecture business. What do you want to hear in the run-up to the election? What will make a difference for you?
I want to hear certainty. I want to hear people being able to tell us what's going to occur, and the fact is we just don't know at the minute, so we just have to be game and ready to get on with it.
So what are when you say certainty, do you mean Brexit? Is that the key thing?
Absolutely. There's too much uncertainty at the moment. There's uncertainty in the political world, and there's uncertainty in terms of what's going to occur after Brexit. We need a little bit more direction.
And certainty of what? What are the types of things you want to know?
I want to know, how are we going to deal with our border with Europe? In Northern Ireland, we have a 500-kilometre border with Northern Ireland. That's an opportunity. It's also a struggle. Folks in Derry, Londonderry are concerned about how they go across the border. The folks in Newry are concerned about how they travel across the border. We're a little different up here in Portrush and Causeway Coast and Glens. It's a brilliant location, but we need to know what the rest of the picture is going to be.
Yeah, and Anthony, for you, obviously in financial services, is that a similar thing for you?
Yes, very much so. Another uncertainty is whether we can get our local elected government at Stormont up and running. I do feel that electioneering doesn't engender compromise, and compromise, I feel, is what is needed between the political parties at Stormont. So I feel that the election is actually, the general election is putting a brake on effective government of at the regional level.
Yeah, and that's obviously more important to you, is kind of what's going on regionally.
Yes.
And how is business for you at the moment? How is the financial services sector doing here?
It's doing very well. The markets currently are not as skittish as they have been. And that, coupled with the low interest rates available through the banking services, means people need to look at asset-backed investments to get a return.
Yeah, and John, I'll bring you in here as well. And just tell us a bit about your background and what you're doing, because it's very much around skills, isn't it?
It is. At Catalyst Inc, we're very much focused on the knowledge economy and how we develop that in Northern Ireland. So research is really important, so we're looking for investment in world-class research, but skills obviously are really important. This is about new technologies, disruptive technology, so it's really important that our education system is preparing our young people for this new emerging economy. But as the guys were saying, skills is really important. There's a lot of people working in the different sectors from outside of the UK, so certainty around what their position is, being able to stay in Northern Ireland, and also how we access skills as when we need them.
And it's interesting because there's a lot of young people here, aren't there? 1 in 4 people in Northern Ireland under 25, so you're kind of managing what skills they're going to have for future jobs.
That's right, and then the whole challenge is we don't really know in the next 10 years what the jobs are going to be, because the pace pace of change is so fast. So it's about making sure they have those skills around critical thinking, being very agile, problem solving. It's those sort of skills that we need to be developing.
Yeah, and Neil, let me bring you in as well, because as an economist, looking at this region of Northern Ireland, how does it differ to the UK? Because a lot of the issues we're talking about is exactly what the rest of the UK is talking about.
Yes, indeed, and in many ways the region is quite similar. It's got pockets of absolute brilliance from sectors as diverse as agri-food, cybersecurity, media and film. Terrific performance, but there's not enough of that. Overall, its economic performance would be broadly similar to the Welsh or the North East economy. So below the potential it really has, but within it, real pockets of world-class brilliance.
So what would make a difference?
There are a number of things that would make a difference. We have some real structural problems. We have a private sector that struggles to scale. We don't grow enough of our businesses. That's a problem. We rely a lot on money coming in from Great Britain to come over to keep our public services, which need a lot of transformation and modernisation. So we need to make some real structural choices there. But ultimately, we need a bigger private sector, bigger tax base to pay for the public services we need.
Yeah, interesting. Great. Well, I know you're going to stick with us. We'll warm you up as well, because it's fairly... I'm well impressed that you haven't got coats on, some of you. You're making me ashamed as a northerner. I should not have my coat on. But there you go. So we're going to be here throughout the morning. But first, let's get the news, travel and weather where you are.
Come back. It's okay.